very traditionally Australian too, and their colours of green and gold. Now the monster family, the friendliest monster family in the universe.
I tell you what, we've got some three-eyed monsters there.
Actually, Mum used to call me a monster. She'd say, "You little monster."
Well, look at that little monster.
And
Colourful.
I wonder now if she meant that I was nice and lovable and friendly like these monsters are.
Zorg and his family first joined the pageant in 2003, and they wouldn't miss it for the world. But they're followed by the Ghastly Grove. Oh, Brenton, I can't stand the Ghastly Grove. It frightens me.
Maybe it's the nightmare before Christmas.
It's
a spooky
the ghouls.
Halloween tale.
I can't even ride the ghost train at the show, let alone look at this. Ooh, what's that behind it? Looks like a spider, but it's a big nasty... Oh, look, from the front, it looks like a spider on the roof, Brenton.
It's a big grove tree reaching over the rock, but he's alive. He's actually taking hold of the house there. And look at the little rat in the gutter and the other little nasties about the house below. You can see the ghouls inside there. Looks a bit frightening, doesn't it?
It's a very scary one. Don't like it, look.
Halloween was only last week. Missing a few tiles on top too. That's not the kind of home I'd like to be living in, that's for sure. Oh, look at this. Like these guys are stretching
things a little bit too far.
Way too far.
Oh, it's all a bit armless though, isn't it? Boom, boom. Or the long arm of the law.
And Bruto, the most lovable of monsters, very friendly and oh so cuddly, is actually this year's winner of the Mr. Universe competition.
Is he now? He's pink though. He can't be too brutal being pink.
Look at his eyes, saying goodday to all the boys and girls behind the blue honour line.
And who have we got in the front there? Aren't they the luckiest girls in the world with the most comfortable seat for the pageant?
I think so.
Or maybe this is the most comfortable seat for the pageant.
The pageant is one of the world's biggest convoys to Christmas, and a big favourite is this one, Toby Toy Truck. Sporting a huge smile and a load full of toys. And it doesn't look like the hands are on the wheel there, so maybe Toby's doing all the driving for these guys inside.
How do you get a seat inside Toby? That would have to be one of the most coveted seats for the pageant.
Look at all the toys. And the 1027th Battalion of the Royal South Australian Regiment, one of South Australia's finest bands, who play as well as they dress, absolutely impeccable in their uniform. And their medals as well.
Once Upon a Storybook Float, Brenton. I love this one because, of course, I love to tell stories because I do that every night, reading the news for Channel 9 at 6 o'clock.
This is new to the pageant. Only 47 sleeps to go to Christmas, and there's nothing better to help you sleep than a good bedtime story. And here we have Once Upon a Storybook, featuring many of our favourite fantasy books. There's Alice in Wonderland, Jack and the Beanstalk. You can see the giant with his bobbling head up the back there. Little Red Riding Hood and Hickory Dickory Dock. If you look closely,
yes, I'm looking.
There's Humpty Dumpty.
I see Humpty Dumpty.
There's the Gingerbread Man and the Fox. See the mice?
Look at the mice coming out of the book.
There's the monkey and the weasel on the little carousel.
It's just full of colour and movement. And look, I think there's one little boy that's very happy to be on that float today.
The characters there going on to the Women's and Children's Hospital to visit the children who couldn't come to the pageant today.
So that's a lovely thing, isn't it? Oh, Mr. Owley's school. Now, what have we got here? The graduates have done their homework, or have they, of this school? Now, let's have a look at some of the chalk, the blackboards there. Now, does some of the actual arithmetic there, does it all add up, Brenton? Let's have a little look.
1 plus 2.
1 plus 2, does that equal 12?
No, it doesn't.
I don't think so.
Actually, I'm too afraid to say because I reckon I'd probably get them wrong too.
Oh, please don't ask me. But I know that that's not right, that 1 plus 2 does not equal 12.
Rapunzel, featuring favourite music from the Grease soundtrack. I love it. You're the one that I want. Have a listen in closely. You can hear it.
And look, she's actually running her own hairdressing salon, Rapunzel there, and her hair stretches all the way down and through the float. But who's down the bottom of the float? It's the prince, and he's got his foot stuck on her hair with some bubble gum. He can't get up to her.
You know why?
Why? It's stuck.
The Wicked Witch has cast a spell on Rapunzel's hair, so he can't climb up to get her.
No.
It's sad, isn't it? Rapunzel doesn't seem to mind. She's in a world of her own upstairs.
I think I know a few Rapunzels about the place, and I might be one included.
It takes a whole day to wash her hair. Wouldn't be worth going out, would it? No wonder it only happens once a year. Hocus, the wonky wizard wonky, right? None of his magic has gone right so far. Look at this closely.
Oh, look at the eyes on the dragon. They flash. Look at that.
He's having a great time
He is
there.
having a great time. What are the music that they're listening to? Who let the dogs out?
I hope he's got a fire permit there for the fire he's got in front. We're in fire danger
Hey,
season
look,
now.
Hocus hasn't done a very good job there. He's sort of made everybody look a bit wonky with legs coming out of tops. Look at that, the legs coming out of the top of the barrel. He can't quite get it right, can he? And this one on the float there with his little legs.
You see the ghouls too?
I did see the bulls. And look at the man with all of his arms coming out the side. Oh, what have we got here? Alfie, the long hot dog. Good old Alfie.
After all, Christmas is for pets as well, isn't it?
Oh, well, I suppose it is. Have you got a pet, Brenton?
We do, and you know what? We give our pets a big present on Christmas Day. It's called leftovers.
Oh, right. Oh, look, here's my favourite, Snow White.
And
Here
the
she
7
is.
dwarfs.
And the 7... Can you name the 7 dwarfs?
Doc is there. I can see Grumpy.
Sleepy, Dopey, Sneezy, Happy and Bashful.
I love the music too. Hi-ho.
Hi-ho.
Oh, don't eat the apple though.
Don't eat the apple.
That's
Don't
poison.
eat- no. Oh, it is too.
As long as she doesn't eat that, we'll be right.
Now, the nasty queen is up in the turret with her friends, the vulture. What have we got now?
Ascot with live music from the Pageant Jazz Band, featuring a day of the Ascot races with the Pageant Jazz Band, now in their 44th year, and someone very special is on
I
board.
can recognise him up the back there. Keith Conlon from Postcards. Look at him playing that drum.
Which recently celebrated its 500th anniversary. Good on you, Keith. Love the music.
He's really playing that, isn't he? I'm just looking at him. He's actually really playing. He's quite the muso.
Big day at the Ascot races. We had the Melbourne Cup this week. That was huge. Now, this float was in fact the first black and white float in the pageant, with stunning costumes produced by the talented wardrobe pageant team. Always a favourite in the pageant. Cinderella wants the ball to last forever. Well, we've still got plenty of time before Father Christmas arrives, so it'll last at least for a little bit longer yet.
There she is. But do you know what, though? At the back of Cinderella is the clock that's always stuck on 1 minute to midnight because she wants it to last forever. Don't we all?
True.
We all want the ball to last and last and just keep dancing with your Prince Charming, not have to go back in your pumpkin back home. It's a bit like Christmas. We don't want it to end.
But like here on the float, we've got the bluebirds that became coachmen and lizards, and then in later versions, the mice became the horses. Do you remember that part as well?
See, there's the clock. It will never get to midnight. It'll go back again. Now watch. Whoosh, back it goes.
I wish Christmas Eve was like that.
Yes.
Alice in Wonderland. It's a very special time for everyone on board the Alice in Wonderland because everyone on board, including Tweedledee and Tweedledum, are celebrating a very happy unbirthday.
Oh, is that right?
In fact, so are you, Kelly. A happy unbirthday to you.
A happy unbirthday.
The Mad Hatter's looking a little happier these days.
Now, the March Hare is lucky to make it on time for this year's pageant as well. The King and Queen of Hearts.
The Dormouse and the Cheshire Cat, they're also there. Look at the arms on the caterpillar move up and down. He's waving as well.
I just love this because it just shows, that's like Christmas with everyone sitting around a Christmas table, and it shows how community comes together, and that's what we're doing here today for the Adelaide Christmas pageant, our community coming together.
And Queen of the Fairies, high above the magical pond, the moon shines down, silhouetting the Fairy Queen, who watches over her fairies. Now, they're appropriately named Summer, Autumn, Winter and Spring, who dance and play, celebrating the colour of the seasons, a bit like I do in the weather, Kelly, the Weatherman Waltz.
Is that right?
Celebrating the seasons, yes.
Right. Well, thankfully, we've got you here today to tell us all about that and do a little bit of... I can see you dancing on the inside as well, Brenton. You're having a lovely time, as I am.
Well, fortunately, the showers are holding off for us nicely. It's very good, and nice cool conditions too.
Now, the fairies' gowns are made of this delicate cloth and they sparkle in the light. Don't they look fabulous?
There are 4 lucky competition winners on board this one. They're riding on the float today, as are many other floats. Many of them are staff from the credit unions.
Oh, the Patchwork Christmas Cats. This is the Calisthenics Association. Now, you have to say that with a lisp. Now, they're mischievous cats and kittens in their colourful Christmas coats. They are celebrating Christmas with Puss in Boots. Now, can we see Puss in Boots yet? I don't think so.
I think there he is.
Oh,
there's Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots is a very happy cat. He's laying back there enjoying all the celebrations. I reckon he's got the easiest ride in.
Oh, he has, hasn't he? And the most comfortable. Laying back there. That's where I want to be.
If you look closely, Puss is actually waving as well.
Do you know why Puss is there? It's because the princess fell in love with the Marquis of Carabas. Not because he was handsome. Now, there he is. Not because he was handsome, and he's not too handsome, but because she loved his cat. Now, where's the princess? She's there. She fell in love with the cat. Puss in Boots.
Now, I reckon that king there's Costa. Costa, he's the CEO of the Police Credit Union.
Yes, he is. He's quite handsome.
The Scotch College, Adelaide and City of Elizabeth pipe bands together. Followed by Kingsley's Vintage Cars and the Keystone Cops. There are 6 vintage cars here, driven by 6 unlicensed Charlie Chaplins chased by the 12 Keystone Cops. What a recipe for disaster.
Now, as we heard earlier, these cars were built by Kingsley Savage, and for many years he gave free rides for them for thousands of South Australian children in Tusmore Park. He became known as the Pied Piper of Tusmore, and Kingsley passed away in September of 2004, but the vehicles were donated to the pageant by Kingsley's family, which is so fabulous. A fitting memorial for a caring man, and what a treat.
The old pageant tram, fast track to Christmas, only 47 sleeps away, Kelly. And what a classic looking tram today, packed with competition winners. How lucky are we, though, to have a tram that takes us all the way down to the beach. Another big tradition here in Adelaide, taking the tram to Glenelg. Tickets, please. Tickets.
Ding,
Tickets,
ding.
please.
Ding, ding.
Remember the buzzers? I love taking the tram down to the beach. What beautiful costumes as well.
They are fabulous. That's harking back to another era, isn't it?
Now, I'm hearing a lot of noise behind, though, from MC Shep. That is Christmas wrapping, first introduced a couple of years ago.
Are you talking about wrapping Christmas presents?
Well, wrapping and DJing. These guys have ripped open their huge Christmas present and found their dream gift, a rage cage. Countdown and all.
Let's see what they're doing inside. Look at that, Brenton.
We've got skaters and the breakdancers from De Clinic. See the breakdancer in the middle there is from De Clinic?
Oh, that's wild.
And now that is pretty cool because not only is the float moving, but they're moving inside the float, the rage cage.
You got to have some tude to be on that float, I think.
Yeah. Some attitude, you reckon?
Yeah.
Now, Drew Halliday brought that to life. The London Bus here, Kelly, featuring the soundtrack from Oliver.
You do that rather well.
The London Bus.
Yes, you do that very, very well.
Authentic 1946 London Bus.
Well, you know what this shows is a lot of South Australia's history actually is English. So, you know, we actually say thank you to some of our settlers in the 1800s and saying, well, this is something quite familiar to us.
And a lot of the expats currently in London and all the British tourists that are here visiting Adelaide today, you can hear the music soundtrack from Oliver. Consider yourself at home. Consider yourself part of the family. You are family here in Adelaide today. I reckon it is the most anticipated family event, the Christmas pageant here in the city.
And here we go, the Galaxy 2000. I would think that most of the little boys here today would like to be on this float or riding up the top there. That is for boys and their toys. Look at that.
Those aliens are looking a little bit funny, aren't they? Out of this world as such.
I know, out of this world.
Oh, to be an astronaut like that.
Well, Andy Thomas, of course, is from Adelaide, so I'm sure that he dreamed of that when he was a kid growing up here, to be on this Galaxy 2000 float.
Look, it's taken off too. up and away to Christmas. With music from Star Wars. That's pretty stirring as well.
Isn't it just?
And I can hear more music on the way from the Enfield Brass Band, with Cheryl Bradley dancers closely behind. The band's been a regular with the pageant over recent years.
Now, Cheryl has continued the tradition and her dancers will celebrate 20 years with the pageant next year.
Cheryl Bradley and her dancers have had a long history with the pageant. Cheryl's grandmother was a harlequin clown of the pageant, both
Is that right?
in 1933 when the pageant first started and again in 1934. And they've been dancing like that since they first started on South Terrace. This is not dehydrated.
Let's go down and hear from Mark and Kate.
Isn't this great fun, guys?
It is. We've got Hayden, Hannah and Sam are here, and you've travelled a long way to come here today.
Yeah, 3-hour drive to come down and have a look and bring the kids, the first chance. So
So this is the first time you've been to the pageant?
yes, we've been to the ones in Port Pirie before, but first time in Adelaide, and they're loving it. So.
Okay, and how are you liking it so far? You enjoying it? It's fantastic. you can't wipe the smiles off their faces. They're having a great time.
The Ghana Yata Yityuko Wanindo, meaning a Ghana country Christmas. Descendants of the Ghana people who are the traditional owners of the Adelaide Plains where the Christmas pageant is held. Accompanying one of the main animals of the region, the kangaroo, favourite to the thousands of tourists who come to South Australia.
That's right, and the concept behind this kangaroo design reflects an industrial lifestyle influenced by the natural environment. And here we've got the bandicoot boar rock.
Yes, another big part of rural Australia, in good times and bad. Rural South Australians know how to throw a party, and this is no exception. The Bandicoot Boar Music Festival. If you've ever been out to the outback, you know that the country people here in South Australia love their music.
That they do, and we just heard from some that have come from all the way from Port Pirie with Mark down there behind the blue on a line, and there we see some pageant queen and her princesses.
Now, of course, they have the lucky opportunity to meet Father Christmas a little later. Bay Botch Surf Pub. Now, unlike other people in the world who dream of having a white Christmas, we here in Australia love to soak up a hot summer holiday. The Bay Botch Surf Pub celebrating all the fun of the sun and the surf this very festive time of year. And they're doing the right thing too. Slip, slop, slap with the T-shirt, the sunscreen and the hat. Despite the cloud cover today, they put the sunscreen on. Well done, guys.
Yeah, well done. And we can see the white surf foam. At least we have a bit of white, don't we, for Christmas, with the surf rolling in and the white foam coming off it.
Now, you can see the lifesavers. They're rocking in the surf boat, riding on the wave with the dolphin. Can you see the dolphin? How
You can see the octopus up the top here, having the best view.
That is, I reckon that's one of the best seats in the house.
It is. Oh, this is the best seat of the house. Look at this, the jolly swagman sitting back there. Doesn't that say Australia?
To the tunes of Waltzing Matilda, the Australian folk song sung by homesick Australian travellers during the years of the Depression when men would leave home to find work that carried a swag like this.
And of course, Brenton, that's why this Christmas pageant started way back in 1933 by the founder of John Martin's, a department store here in South Australia during the Depression, to bring some lovely times, to bring some smiles to everyone's face when things were quite a bit sad.
And Jolly Swagman sleeping away the time to Christmas, just 47 sleeps away. And the summertime sprinkler. Australian sporting ovals renowned for watering with this type of sprinkler. Now, as kids, Kelly, we didn't have a pool. So running through the sprinkler was the next best thing.
We had the lawnmower. Can you remember the sound of the lawnmower? Listen. Not much lawn there to mow.
Now, I can only guess that they're paving down the lawns and watering it down nicely because it's time for a bit of Christmas cricket.
Yes, and look what's to follow, the Christmas cricket. Come on, Aussie, come on. That's what we'll be saying to our cricketers this summer, won't we?
It's not Christmas without a game of backyard cricket. We've got a bit of a motley crew here. We've got the bowler. We've got the bowler, Lizzie Gillespie.
Boom, boom. The umpire, Daryl Hare.
Batting is Boof Wombat. Boof Wombat, sorry.
Boof Wombat.
Not Boof.
Daryl Lehman will have you. Ricky Ponding is at the back. Don't we love our cricket, though? On the beach, in the backyard, in the street. Any time is a good time for cricket here in Australia.
You give him a high five there. We get Clan's very happy now. With every cricket game, though, we've got the grandstand with a little field mice watching the game. How cute is that?
Look at that. And look, they've all covered up. They've got the slip, slop, slap message going on very, very well there, haven't they?
We've got the Outback Scrubbers playing the Bush and Pond All-Stars, and it looks like the Bush and Pond All-Stars are in the lead there.
They're winning, aren't they? The Royal Caledonian Band.
Formed in 1894. Let's enjoy this one. These guys have also performed at the Edinburgh Military Tattoo, and new this year,